And with his support and everything like that, I actually got to hire a coach, and that got me over that. I knew I was doing something off because I was like, I got the workout and part of the diet's missing though. How can I get it to where I can get that pro card? And hired the coach for 1 year, and well, there was magic. It was called almost starving to death, but I looked phenomenal. In 2021, I went pro, and that was like my big thing. I was the leanest one, not quite the biggest one, but so conditioned that I ended up taking two of course, the Masters division, women's, I think it was 45 and 50 at the time. Physique took two pro cards, one in each class, and then I did a crossover to figure before, to see where I was I did have enough muscle, did I not? So in figure, I came in second. So I said, okay, that's the division is physique that I need to stay in. So I just kept trying to get more size and stuff. So that's kind of like the baseline of me trying to get up the chain of stuff until right up today. Still women's physique. I did do a bodybuilding. Did crossover this year because I just found out last year you could do a crossover only as a master though. You can't go to the open classes. You stick in if I wanted to stick with just physique, then I could do an open class. But since I wanted to try the women's bodybuilding because I liked the front lat spread, the rear lat spread. So I said, let me try this. And then I was able to, they were like, you could do a crossover too. I was like, okay. So I did to see where I was kind of going to in these last two shows we did. Places is about the same on both women's physique or women's bodybuilding. So I know we got some criteria back from the judge. So I know what I need to work on and to get a little more muscle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing about bodybuilding. Even though the divisions are so much different between physique and women's bodybuilding, they still have those kind of similar aesthetics. I know quite a few ladies who've done that because as amateurs, only time you get to do crossovers is amateurs, and then in masters you can do crossovers. Because I remember 1 year, I think it was at this coming up weekend is the Masters World Championships, and I know Robin Mays did that. She did both women's bodybuilding and physique. She did pretty good. I got a thing to wear tomorrow. She's been a guest on my channel before. Masters, I think it started to grow because we just had the Masters Olympia. Y'all did the Max Fit, both of y'all, or was just you or both of y'all did it? Okay, yeah. I think you won in your class, Viki, right?
Yeah, at Tampa, I took 2 third places and a 5th place Tampa, and then here at the Max Fit, I took a 2nd and a 3rd.
And what about you, Tony? How do you do at your show?
In Tampa, I took one class, placed 4th in another. And at Max Fit, I took 2 first and a 5th.
Mm-hmm. So that means that you are, so you're you're nationally qualified right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and we're going to wait till next year. We're going to wait till next year and then push. I'll hit Masters and Collegiate Nationals and try to, try my hand at do a shot at the pros at that time. So we'll spend a good solid 10 months just working on it. So.
All right. Yeah. So one more time to grow and really get ready because we got at least at least about 3 more shows for pro qualification. You have the North Americans. I think also in a few months is going to be the Amateur Olympias. Also, there's the USA's Masters, and also there is the Nationals. And I think you don't want to go all the way overseas. There's a couple shows overseas, but you want to be close to home. So, Tony, what got you into bodybuilding?
I've been an athlete most of my life. I wrestled and played football in high school, played football in college, went in the Marine Corps for 8 years. Of course, that's always working out. So, worked as a contractor a little bit after, and then, was just kind of a recreational lifter for a little bit, off and on through the years. I might go 2 or 3 times a week, and then I might not go for 6 months. Just one of those guys. In around 2008 or 9, I started going pretty consistently, and had a friend talk me, like she was talking about, do a show, and it was also a natural show, and and I won my class, won the overall Masters, and placed third in the open middleweights in bodybuilding. But the difference in master in naturals versus NPC and IFBB, I would not get on stage if I looked like that now, because I look like a freaking swimmer in Speedos is what it looked like. I would not do that. If I looked that way now, I would not dare get on stage. But it was enough of that. And just through the periodic chaos of life that can happen, I did not do it again until we met. And I'd started training, got back really consistent, started gaining size in about 2018. 2019 suffered a pretty bad health event that took me out for about a year. And then we met a year and a half later, and it was just a perfect thing. God pointed out the perfect mate for me. So
that's so beautiful. That's just the perfect woman. I mean,
here's the funny part. Here's the funny part. I was already on prep.
Yeah.
He decided to go, I'm going to show too, and hops on prep. Now we kind of started, we got married, then we started dating. So
yeah,
we weren't seeing each other for a long time. Yeah, that's exactly that look.
We met and got married 7 weeks later. And so we always just, so we tell people we got married, then we started dating. Because that's essentially what it is.
And that's where it's going to test you. You don't know somebody, they're a stranger, and you're on prep, so you're already cranky and you don't want nobody to touch your food, and you're hiding your stuff. So I felt like the kid that was not going to play any of my toys, and I was hiding stuff. I'm like, no, you can't be on my prep. This is my prep.
You gotta share a bed with this man. So I've never been married. I've been a bachelor most of my life. Call me Bruce Wayne without the Batman and the billions,
But the funny thing was, I understood the process of prep just from doing it once before. And of course at that time I did not start it until the next year. I just supported her that first. And but one time I had a bowl full. And her coach. It's when she went pro. So she, talk about suffer. I told you I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps. This woman, has as much discipline, more discipline than a lot of the Marines I served with. She's that gritty and that focused. Don't let the sweet smile and everything fool you. There's a
little devil.
There's a monster in there. But one time I had a big bowl full of oatmeal and with cinnamon on it, so that just makes it smell better. And I had like 4 or 5 eggs on top of it, and went walking past her, and was right.
Yeah.
She's like, if you kiss me with that carb breath, I'm going to chew your face off.
I'm still trying to be nice because I was really feeling that anger wanting to come out and yell. And he talks about a bowl. It's not a bowl. It was a bowl, like a salad bowl of oats. And here I am, have not had a carb in probably a month. I was having green beans and chicken or fish. And he comes in with all this carb. And I was just like,
you bastard.
I know, right?
I know.
I got him back the following year.
She did. She did get me back because the next time.
So, Mr. Tony, sir, you should be old enough to know better than that. Dealing with a woman,
I know.
You should know. And you know what? Why I say this, I gotta say this first, sir. I don't say thank you for your service. For anybody who served our country, I say I appreciate the sacrifice you have made for our country as a citizen. Thank you is never enough. Don't even say thank you, sir. No, don't stop saying thank you to me. Thank you to you, sir. Don't ever say thank you to me. I'm just a citizen. I'm just a pogue. I'm just a guy who never. I was thinking about joining the Marine Corps when I was younger, but I got a job and life happens, And also like you, I played football in high school. I didn't wrestle. We didn't have high school wrestling. We wrestled when we were younger. We didn't wrestle. We wrestled when we were younger.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now you sound like from Alabama or Mississippi.
Well, I'm from North Carolina, so just a little bit closer.
Okay, well, I can make fun of Alabama because I'm from Alabama originally, so I make fun of those rednecks all the time. I don't care.
And I'm about as north as you can get in Massachusetts. So put about a north and a south
Yeah,
together.
Marcia, you get a Boston Notch, like that.
That's
With the clam chowder.
Yeah.
The clam chowder.
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all people up north, y'all weird.
I agree. Now that I moved away, they are weird up there.
Yeah.
But she did get me back because the very next spring I went into prep to go for what was it you had, waffles?
Yeah, it was protein waffle. I made protein
Oh
waffles.
man,
I was dieting him, so I made sure I had to diet him down really lean.
Yeah, she coached me in, and I was doing the same thing. I had like half an egg and maybe 2 pieces of oats. That's all I had for breakfast.
2 pieces of oats.
I had two oat grains. And then she's over there at the waffle iron, pulls off this big, thick Belgian waffle, and I'm like,
it was a protein waffle, very healthy still. But he did. He got cross-eyed. He's like, "Is that a waffle?" And I was like, "Yep." And I turned around and walked in the other room. That's all I said.
Well, dealing with bodybuilding, especially with food, sometimes it's like an addiction. It's important to the process of y'all growing, but certain foods, you can't have because you can't eat this, you can't eat that. Sometimes I talk to ladies and say, y'all be acting like the movie I remember was a classic, New Jack City, with Chris Rock played Pookie. You'd be like, Pookie, like, be calling my name, man, be calling my name, be calling me.
I love that movie, by the way. That's a good movie.
It's great. It's a great movie. It's nice. That was
brutal,
a classic.
Good.
Yeah, it's basically the truth about it. But it's y'all two got together, and then you turned pro in 2021, right? Yeah, and that was North Americans. And what was that experience like? When now after that long time, only just being, you had been competing, but good 3 or 4 years as an amateur.
Right. Yeah,
and
then what's funny about that is when I went pro and got the pro cards, I was more upset that I didn't get the overall. I wanted the trophy, and they're like, "But you got 2 pro cards." I go, "Yeah, but I really wanted the overall and the trophy." And they're like, "Girl, you got to at least be happy with what you got." I said, "Well, I am, but I really wanted the overall because I was this close from the overall and stuff." But I think 1 point of getting the overall for that division on that pro day.
Yeah.
Who won the overall that year? Do you remember?
Do you remember her name? I'm trying to think what her name was.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. We used to be friends on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I don't remember, but
okay.
He might just.
Yeah, actually, I remember the face, but not the name. But some people get really caught up in drama, and when they do, for me, that puts you on the chopping block. You're out. So.
Yeah. Well, I have a personality. Sometimes I love anarchy. It's the thing that makes it. I like my favorite thing, Tony and Viki, is dynamite and gasoline. It's just it's a gift.
If it's
smell of napalm.
If it's the chaos I create, then that's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, now you made your pro debut. I think it was in 2022. That was Omaha, right? Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. See, as I said again, as my master Roz Oswald Demon had taught me, be aware of surroundings all the time, young Master Wayne. And what was that experience like that first time on the pro stage for you?
It was good. I didn't know what to expect. Again, I felt my coach kind of ran me where I spilled over, and I was super lean, but with some of the protocols, I ended up holding water and spilt over. So at that Omaha, I didn't have nowhere near as nice a package as I did when I went pro, and that's kind of what makes you go, okay, I think I'll just, not have a coach right now and just kind of take things in my own hands for a little while and stuff, and went back to prepping ourselves and stuff like that. So, but it was good because I think that was the first year I met Oksana was there and stuff like that. And we become friends and have seen each other at a lot of other shows through the last few years and stuff. And then her husband, we were always giving her kudos with her husband turning pro last year. And, there's so many great people, but she was one that came right to my mind because they do like to do that one, I think, quite a bit, or the Elm Cup one. But it was fun. It was a good year in Omaha.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of interviewing both Oksana and Autumn. His story of how he survived the Omicron variant of C19 that's why I reached out to him, because my mother, she had gotten the C19, and she died because she was sick for a long time. I was taking care of her for about 5 or
Sorry to
6
hear
years.
that.
Yes, I appreciate that. That was, that's your woman. That was my woman. I say I didn't have relationships. I had relations. I had some fun with some ladies, but when my mom got sick, I had to step up because I can tell you, too, I've been through some medical issues because I had a pacemaker. I had my first heart attack when I was 39 years old.
Oh, wow.
I was at work. I was working in this factory, and I thought I was getting sick. So I could, it was like too far away from me to drive right back home. So my sister lived like 20 miles next town over. Both my sisters, two of my older sisters, and she told me, "Well, go get yourself checked." So I go to urgent care. They sent me to one of the biggest hospitals in the area, and they told me that Miss McCarthy, you had a heart attack. We have to keep you here for about a week. I thought, well, heart attack, you'd be like, coming to see you, Elizabeth. It was, I thought I was having a cold.
I love that.
Right. Sanford
yeah,
and Son.
it's a great show. Yeah, great show. But I can tell you, it's a lot to be, couple into, because you're not. I've interviewed quite a few couples being like, both are pros or one's a pro, one amateur, both are amateurs, and have a passion for his sport.
Yeah. Well, see, at this point,
exactly.
the first year when we were together, that's when she was training and went pro. Then I had started training back again. So I've only been at this for about 4.5 years. Because after actually what happened to me in 2019, I had a brain aneurysm. So that's what set me back. And then we met about a year and a half later, and I didn't train for a year, and just barely. I would just go out and do a little bit of cardio. And two, was in combat. I was deployed as a Marine, and I never questioned my mortality at all in my life, ever, even after being shot at who knows how many times, until this happened. And then that's when you start thinking, okay, something's different. So when it was probably 8 months before I even went back into the gym because I was afraid to even put pressure. Because every time you lift, your blood pressure goes up a little bit. It just does. And so I was, I didn't get touch of weights for a while. And then we met, had already been back training for a little bit. And so after she went pro up the next year, I started training pretty hard, getting back into it, and then did a couple of shows. And but the last 2 years, last year and this year, we've done preps together. We've competed at the same shows together. So it definitely makes it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we, and it's easy to, because a lot of people are like, how do you guys spend that much time? How do you balance it? We're like, it's such an innate part of what we do. We don't ever think about it. It's just our life. We both own our own businesses. She's a barber. I'll run a lawn care company. But prior to that, I'd worked in corporate technology for about 25 years. So, so throwing bodybuilding in on top of our careers and everything, that can be a grind for some people, but we don't think about it. We do the things that need to be done, and we just roll. I mean, it's never a question, okay, we got to get this done, or can we get this done in this amount of time? We don't have set chores. If something needs to be done, one or the other one is doing it, whatever it is around the house. So it's, we work, when you talk to one of us, you're talking to both of us. That's how succinct we are. Mm-hmm. So it's,
we work in tandem.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
That's so sweet.
I can almost
say the family that lives together loves together. That's how.
Well, I mean,
yes.
We're that. I mean, our energies are definitely connected, and we don't have to. We can look at each other and know what's coming or whatever. I mean, we don't have to really think about anything. So, but this fits both of us. It's it's a, I don't want to call it an obsession because you kind of get marked with being a little bit crazy. But I think if you're going to be really good at something or be successful at something, I think obsession has to be part of it.
Yeah.
And,
I get that point because you know what, doing this content and talking with both you men and women in the sport, you really learn that this is a sport about passion. You have to really love it because one thing is, it's not a lot unless you are the top 1% in the IFBB. there's not a lot of money in it. You know, your two
Yeah.
have good careers, you know, barber, you know, you're working lawns. You know, right now, I think summer's pretty good for you, Tony. But then when it hits the winter and sun, it just kind of falls off a little bit. But you know, you have to have that because this sport can be, as I talk to some ladies that tell me, it's mentally, physically, financially draining.
Yeah.
And I think one thing with my challenge about y'all ladies, I think it's a lot more harder on y'all women because of society's view of women with muscle. Like,
Right.
you know, Tony, you're an older gentleman, and you say, hey, wow, Tony, he's a fit guy. Then you look at your wife, say, why your wife got all these muscles? She's trying to be like you. She's trying to be the man in the family. That's the thing. You know,
No, it is.
Yeah, it's a passion. You just have
Yeah.
to enjoy it. And you know, I don't think if any man is intimidated by that, that's on you.
It is.
Exactly.
It is big time. Big time. We ran into we were in Tampa, this wonderful couple that sat down with us for a little bit. Keisha, was it bodybuilding? She was it? Yeah.
Keisha, she won the
She won the 40 plus, because I got to talk to her. Her and her boyfriend went to bar.
Yes.
Because we were finished and we were sitting there. We were sitting in the restaurant eating, and they came by and they spoke for just a second. And you know, I had them. I said, "You guys just join us." And they sat there. The four of us sat there for a little over 3 hours and just talked about
everything.
I mean, literally 3 hours.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. We did talked about everything.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, the drive and the passion, just like Artem and Oksana, you know, there's just, I think it takes a different person to do what we do at this level, specifically at the pro level. Even more, it becomes a lot harder. The challenges are a lot more difficult because the competition it's elite at that level.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, with me, I can walk on and, you know, it's not that bad. But once you get to the pro level, you got the best coming at you.
Yeah.
So
even in the Masters division,
oh man,
women in the Masters, you know, we're talking, you know, 40, 50, 60.
Yeah.
It's amazing because the women have the same drive as I do. We all do. Is trying to put that muscle on later in life and trying to keep that longevity at the same time. So I've had people at the barbershop like, well, how long do you plan on doing this? And I'm like, until the good Lord says I can't do it no more. There is no stop unless you stop it yourself. So unless something happens or the good Lord says it's time to come home, I'm just going to keep doing it because I enjoy it. It's great for your health. You feel better about yourself physically because you're like, oh, okay, I look pretty good. And you challenge yourself. You're off season, you gain a little weight, and then you dial it back in. You got to still keep your workouts to keep building the muscle and doing all the protocols so that next season when you start dieting in, you have a little different structure look that you hope is going to get you, you know, first place, second place, or keep going up the ladder, so to speak, and stuff. Yeah. So it is a little more harder, I think, for us older women than the younger women that don't have to worry about menopause and all that good stuff and the collagen, and is your skin crepey or hanging because you don't get enough volume or muscle to build up to pull the skin back where it needs to be.
Or if you had kids and you had that little stretch marks and stuff like that. Because, you know, you had like people like Hunter Henderson, who's like, I think she's gonna be 30 this year. Lavinia, I think both Hunter and Lavinia are not even 30 yet. Also Taylor, I think she's still in her early 20s. Yes. You know, I mean, you know, my friend Eunice, she was in the same class together. She won.
Yes,
it, you know.
Yeah, I know Eunice. Yeah.
Because I want to shout Eunice while I'm on here. She gave me this. I was wearing this the bad rap hat, bad rap.
Yes.
And fine, ripped and pulled. You know, shout to you. I gotta always shout her out. She's like when the day, like when she was going to the booth and we talking a couple, or maybe a month before, she's trying to get some people to help. I said, you know what, I'm here at home. I'm not doing anything. And I had to quote, like I wear my Wilder, my Doc Holliday, I'm in my prime shirt, and you know, and
I noticed that.
Yeah, I was wearing my other Doc Holliday. I'll be a Huckleberry.
Oh yeah.
You know, I kind of play in my head. Like I remember that scene from Tombstone. You ever seen Tombstone where Jack's talking to Doc saying, "Doc, why are you here? You're almost done deathbed." Because he says, "Wired Up is my friend," and Jack says, "I got plenty of friends, Doc." And Doc says, "I don't." And that's why I felt like Eunice said, "Eunice Kitchens is my friend." And I don't got plenty of friends, so I came down there to help my friend because she was so surprised when I came down there, and I was so proud of her, and I appreciate the opportunity, and also meeting people like yourself, and also the priorities and many other competitors. This sport is a sport that I've been following for a long time. I mean, I grew up around by my older brother. He passed away like about 20 years ago. He was a football star here in our hometown. He used to get the muscle mags. You remember back in the day, like Iron Man and Muscle and Fitness and Flex magazines. And growing up, I grew up in the 80s. What was popular cartoons at that time? He-Man and Thundercats. So look at those guys. And then when I got closer to my teenage years, something about you ladies, Viki. Something about them kind of opened up a mind about me, and I just kind of became a particular type of criminal after that. And doing this content, I learned some stuff that there's a lot more to this. Like everyday person looks at bodybuilding. Like me and Dave talked about this. What can you do to get bodybuilding back on mainstream? Because back in the day, bodybuilding used to be on like NBC, ABC, ESPN, Fox Sports. I remember when I got to my motel room, I was tired because it was a good train ride. I had 6 hours in Savannah for the train to come here, and then 6 hours back. And when I got to my room, I was tired. I just flipped the TV, and they're showing championship pillow fighting.
What?
Yeah, I learned this about a year ago. That there is. I saw some clips on it's on ESPN Ocho. And you're thinking, so you can show cornhole, throwing darts. Well, darts been around for a long time. Pool, okay. Bowling, my friend, he bowls. But championship pillow fighting and not bodybuilding. But here's the thing, because of bodybuilding's reputation, everybody looks at body because of the use of performance enhancers, steroids. And you work on you do natural, but that's a different level compared to what's in the NPC right now.
Right.
But it's so easy to point at that, but every sports use it in one form or another. I do content on boxing and MMA, and I know fighters who've been busted for using it. There's been the whole thing where years ago when they had that whole congressional hearing about baseball. Guys like Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, and a lot of those other guys got busted. But because bodybuilding because it's such a extreme sport, because often you had some ladies that passed away just recently, but those weren't because of steroids. The young lady who passed away at the Arnold Classic, she was on a diuretic, and that's one thing that can give you dehydration. But it's so easy to pick on bodybuilding because it's such an extreme sport, and it's not as mainstream as others.
Yeah.
Well, people, there's a natural prejudice to that thing because they automatically assume the enhancers, automatically assume gear use, and that's for any of them, even no bigger than we are. There's been people who make comments on social media about, well, you're using too much. What'd you do? Shoot yourself in the brain with it or something? But the whole thing is that is a total. I hate using the word ignorance, but
what it is.
No. It is because the enhancers do one thing for the sport of bodybuilding. It allows faster recovery. That's it. It doesn't build muscle. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't do any of that. The muscle growth and strength comes from the appropriate amount of rest. What that does, it does enhance your ability to recover. Mm-hmm. That's it. Because I've seen people run it. We both have, and I'm sure you have too at this point. They actually
look the same.
Yeah.
They don't have no muscle, no definition because they don't diet. They don't
train,
they don't train right. They're too busy doing bro lifting. And so anybody that does all the hard work and doesn't have any gear or uses very little, the first thing they're gonna say, oh, you look good, you're using gear, you're using this. And it's like, no, take that out of the equation. You could look just as good as me if you did all the proper work, but you're taking all this stuff and you're just like a balloon, and so you're picking on somebody else because you can't do the diet. And we all know the diet is 90% of how the bodybuilders get on stage and look and stuff. And that's the one thing a lot of people can't control. That's why Ozempic's just shot off of the market. It makes you not eat. So that's the world's new pill of like, hey, I can't stop eating, so I want something to make me stop eating instead of just saying I got mind control, like David Goggins, your mind, strengthen it, harden it, callous it, do it. Tell yourself to do it and just stop eating and eat the right foods, get out and train, and you got to do it yourself. And those are the people that are a little more weak-minded that just can't, like A personalities, we set our mind to it. It's going to get done whether it kills us or not. Moving a truck or something by yourself, pushing it, we're going to do it because we already told ourselves, I'm moving this stuff and I'm not going to let nothing stop me until I achieve it.
So I think most people, like I'm telling you right now, I'm a person who's on Manjaro because I have issues with my cholesterol. And I do eat smart, but then the thing is food is a temptation.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
Here's my story was because I was dealing with my mom's situation. I was almost 500 pounds. Wow. And after the day she died, I saw a picture of myself sitting in a chair at the after the services. I looked and said, dang, I didn't think I got big. I'm still a big dude, but I'm right now sitting at 406 because it takes a lot. And the thing is, I'm not treating me like y'all because there's so much temptation, but I try to be smart. And the thing is that some people, you got to really say, you know what, you're going to have those days. We're going to fight those demons. Say, like, you will see that little kid saying, like, I don't want it. I don't like that episode of SpongeBob when you see the water. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I want it.
Right.
You have to make those choices, and they're going to be difficult for anybody. It's not easy, but unless you're willing to make those choices and make those sacrifices, you just can't be talking about somebody else. So, folks, while we got them both here, we're going to do this. We're going to jump into social media. We want to check them out. The links are in the description of this live. You want to follow them, ask questions, reach out, support these men and women sport of bodybuilding. That's why I always suggest. But guys, and there's no offense to either one of you, and I know most of you guys are here. You're here to watch the ladies. And I know you guys, you get excited when you see these ladies all pumped up and built. But guys, I respect this lady and her husband. No D pics. Stop it. Get some help. And not even for Tony either, because I've heard that even there's the guys who go after the guys who got muscles too. You guys not my flavor, but I know there's guys out there who's into it. So, folks, we're going to jump into social media for you here. You want to follow the links in the description of this live. And look at here. And who's this lovely couple here, right here?
That's my son and daughter.
Oh, those are your two babies.
Yes, my two babies, 120 and my son is 35. That was at their wedding. That was my little grandbaby.
Oh, you're such a cute, just your little babies. I know you're proud. You're proud. You raised a boy and you raised your girl, and now they're adults and they're taking care of themselves and starting families.
Yes.
Have they ever came to your shows and supported you?
They did. Matter of fact, let me see, it was 2018. I actually went up and did the Jay Cutler up in Boston. I did a show up there, and they were able to come to my show and see it. And my daughter's been to one of my very first show my daughter came to. And matter of fact, this year I had her do my music for my songs for my routine because she's a singer. So I kind of bribed her into doing a song for me so I could have that with her voice.
Oh, that's so sweet. I know you love your little girl. She's so proud of you. And Tony, you have any kids?
Yeah, I have one son. Yeah,
how old is he?
He's 35, same age Vic's son is.
Yeah, and is he ever interested in following Dad's footsteps? Do you ever get into bodybuilding or even join the service?
No, he was in the Army. He's out now. He's working in a guard status, but he was in the Army 7th Special Forces Group. So, yeah.
I know you have arguments, talking about the Army. Y'all just be cleaning up behind the Marine Corps, and they're telling the Marines y'all eat crayons.
I've always heard the eat crayon thing. Matter of fact, one time a guy left me like 2 or 3 crayons on my desk at work. But but yeah,
I have relatives said that yeah.
Oh yeah. He's not really interested in it. As a matter of fact, since he's no longer on active service, he's kind of gotten a dad bod a little bit. So
yeah, it happens. I have I have my youngest nephew and he's kind of my sister's youngest child and my sister's oldest daughter. They was in the military, and we get out of that lifestyle. it's hard trying to find your footing again. It's
Yeah,
tough.
Yeah, it
So
is.
Yeah.
And
Here she is. Here she is. She won your pro card. You won double pro cards. And you got an amazing body. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it took a lot of pain to look that good
Yeah.
emotionally. Because boy, I'll tell you, after that show though, I did the one big boo boo everybody says not to do, and that was I loaded up on every carb under the sun. We got off the stage late. We went and got a super large pizza. I ate half of it. We had peace, love, and little donuts there in Pittsburgh. I ate almost every one except a bite from each one. I had acid reflux all night. The next day I woke up and I felt like I had a hangover from all that sugar. I just jacked my pancreas up and my ankles filled up. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. So as we tell other people, if they get into show, do not stop you drinking your water. Keep your water going in even after the show if you want to have your desserts and all that stuff. But watch your food and don't overdo all carbohydrates because you will hold water really bad. It was a lesson well learned that I never did again.
Yeah,
I heard quite a few stories.
That's from this morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was as one guy said, hey, he goes, if you're going to wear something that like Ronnie Coleman wear, you got to say, yeah, baby.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, lightweight, the great
buddy.
Mr. Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia. I'm glad he's doing better now. He was going to go to Atlanta Pro, but because of what he went through with sepsis, he has to take some time off.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, he put his body through a lot. I gotta give that man that. I mean, he's standing. Yeah. But anyway, like I said, this is about bodybuilding. It's about consistency, dedication, practice. Here's just a little picture from when she was at the Max Fit. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, what was the critique from the judges? What did they tell you?
I need to bring my back, get it thicker, and bring in bigger quad sweeps and get tighter and a little bigger in the glutes and the hamstrings.
And what about you, Tony? What was your critique?
I need to bring up my arms and chest from the front, just go elbow to elbow, so to speak, and widen up my back a little bit and just really work on conditioning my abs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want that great physique. You want, the overall work on your strengths as much as your weaknesses. This is a picture that I have this on my social media. We have here a lady I've interviewed, the lovely Miss Wendy Gronk Wilson.
Yeah.
We have here, I think that's Tori Mahan, also Barbara Mogin, Miss Audrey, Keisha, Christine Ware. A pleasure having her on here. Also, there goes you and Chris Coy. I mean, lovely ladies of maturity.
Those Brazilian women had such beautiful muscles. Oh my gosh, I was so envied with their muscles. I was like, man, I wish I had shoulders half their size.
Zama Traps is crazy. I didn't see her up close. I did see Lavinia because she was taking pictures afterwards. But Zama is just crazy. She I don't know how, she might do well. Depending on how Italian Sarah come in, because you're always going to be number one and number two.
Yes.
In top two. I got to talk with Sharonica. She's lovely. She's a great person. I got to talk to Ashley Jones. I mean, she's a great, amazing person. One person I'm a fan of, and I can't help myself because she's just so beautiful. I'm addicted to her, and that is the lovely Mrs. Andrea Shaw.
Oh my God,
I just love her. I just love her.
I love her too.
She's my girlfriend. But I got a problem. I got this one problem I want to share with you. This man right here, he's my brother. I love David, but he's my girl. I'm sorry.
He gets in all the pictures, doesn't he?
I'm supposed to let that go. But I don't care about Whitney. I don't care about the other. But here's him, my girl. But David, my brother, I love you. But I'm sorry. I'm
trying to take her from you.
Try to take my girl. I mean, this is why I love Eunice, because she did this for me. And often I said this, ladies I've become friendly with, we have conversations, send me stuff here and there. I appreciate that. But Eunice, she sent me a great gift. And I often, my other half, like I said, if you give us something, never do it for free. And often like these little things, I call it a payment. this was 2023 when she was at Olympia, and Eunice got this issue of I always have to bring it up because this is like my trophy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and she saw Andrea, and Andrea signed it for me.
Oh wow,
I
That's
mean,
this is
awesome.
awesome.
I'm here. Some people say how nice and good person she is, and I would love to have her on here. If I see her, I'm gonna ask her, "Will you marry me?" So
Yeah.
I think she's just an amazing
that's
person.
Right,
But that's
right.
the thing you get with this industry, though, is everybody they're elite level athletes, um, super competitive, but at the same time, you're also looking at people who are the most congenial individuals. They're selfless with their time, and and it's just they're always willing to talk. They're always willing to sit down and just share whatever. I mean, like that time we sat down with Keisha and her boyfriend for over 3 hours. I don't think there was a subject that we did not cover. And
It's like you knew him forever almost.
yeah, and
You could just sit down and have conversations of everything.
right. I mean, and that's the energy in this industry is you don't really meet a stranger at all. Because the rapport is it's instant. You might have to tell each other your name or remind each other who you are, but apart from that, I mean the chemistry is instant, the rapport is instant, and so it just kind of takes off by itself. And I think that just become it's because of the appreciation of the sport. All of us recognize the dedication and the amount of work that it takes to do this. I mean, it's also, and it's that amount of work and dedication that it takes that keep a lot of people from even doing it. I mean, it's not, more than anything about the physical part, it's mental. I mean, it gets past discipline. It's how much grit do you have? What's your intestinal fortitude like? Just how hard can you push? I mean, we got solid critiques back from the judge, and we did well to shows, but at the same, and although you celebrate those moments, you still take a step back. If you want to keep going like we do, you still take a step back and you go, okay, that was great. That felt good. That looked good. But what can we do better? What can we improve on the next time? Do I need to be bigger here, be in better condition? All of those questions get asked. And we bounce ourselves off each other all the time too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because we're both thinkers, Vic's real creative with the way she thinks. I'm more of a linear thinker. So, she really helps me a lot just kind of thinking outside the box because I'll get driven to one specific direction. And if I don't get somebody to go, hey, pay attention over here, it's like I'll miss something. So, so she steps in, but, there's just a passion that really drives this that I think everyone involved understands and they recognize that.
Yeah, like being there, like I got to meet some people. Like I said again, some up and comers. Derek Lungford, he came by to the booth and talked a good bit. I didn't know that guy was that short. I know you're so.
I know he is.
I'm like maybe this much taller than him. I didn't realize that. But he's a big dude. I gotta give him that. And I met got to talk to Bob Ciccarello a little bit, and I saw Isabel, and with Isabel, you gotta try to look her straight in the eye. I'm trying to look her straight in the eye.
Right.
Yeah.
I even
politicking that all the time.
I mean, I mean,
Hey, I even had a hard time doing it myself. So
I mean, I feel like I might even go like Rocky Balboa with those things. I mean, I just I mean, I asked her, she's thinking about coming back, and I said, yeah, she's thinking about it, but no, she's. I mean, but it was an experience for me. Now, with some people I met that, I can do without. I remember a true story with me. It was my first boxing show I went to was 2022 with Savannah Pro. And I met Donna Salim, and we were talking, had a good conversation. Some other ladies I met, one person particularly, I don't say her name on here because I call her name, I did not speak. And me and Don were taking the pictures together at the back, or it was still doing strength booth. And then she said like, "Oh, I got to take a picture." So, I can sometimes this is me, being I can gauge people and sense something about them that some people they're genuine. I can feel it. Other people, I can see your bullshit.
Right.
And and
Right.
that person, she's bullshit. But people like yourself, who are genuinely good people, who are a couple who loves the sport, have a passion for it. I enjoy talking to couples, even though I'd rather be just me and Viki together, just keep coming together. But I enjoy when y'all share your passion for your contrast of being a couple. Like, here's the thing as I talk about bodybuilding, the sport has evolved over time. The look, the size divisions, now you have a new division coming up. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I even a couple of ladies who
Same.
competed there, but I understand,
Same.
that there's a purpose, there's a reason for it. But again, you're bringing in something that's just going to end up evolving, like how women's bodybuilding evolved, physique evolved, how men's classes evolved. Even you guys in the board shorts, y'all have evolved.
Big time.
Yeah, like, and also I said this, like for the women, they're for most of you, Tony, I know you have your expenses because you have to eat more. You're not a men's open, but you still have to work on your size and condition.